What am I doing here? I was let in. They let me in. Maybe my hair fooled them.
we can't break up a duo. There's just no way.
Well, thank you. That's nice. I
Yay,
appreciate it.
thanks.
I promise I won't talk very much.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to Fabulous Friday TV. Women from all over the world are coming together today, and Fabulous Friday TV is all about celebrating fabulous, living fabulous, being fabulous, and feeling fabulous. I'm Sherry Kallergis from Vancouver. I'm the editor of the magazine At 45 for Women When Life Changes. And I'm also co-founder of Fabulous University, a beautiful platform for women to take courses wherever they are in their life.
And I'm Marot, and I'm an online marketing specialist. I do my dream job. How lucky am I? I work alongside Sherry as the co-founder of Fabulous University. I'm the founder of Women Connect, an elite membership for women empowerment. And welcome everyone to Fabulous Friday TV show. We've got some exciting things lined up for you. And thank you very much for joining us. Back to you, Sherry.
Well, we do have exciting things lined up today. We have a wonderful show with some interesting sharing that's going to inspire you and give you pause to consider new things. So today we're talking about a facet of our life, business and career. And there's a business or career for every woman, no matter what their age, if they want one. But today we've also asked you to bring your favorite woman-owned business to give a shout out, and we're going to touch on that why in a little bit. And we've also got 5 women and 1 man with unique ventures and stories to share about their business, and just let you know that there is an amazing plethora of types of businesses and reasons to start one. So what I'm going to share with you are a few statistics that actually are quite amazing. Number 1, women now own 4 out of 10 small businesses, and 62% of women are between the ages of 40 and 59. So there are a lot of women-owned businesses out there. But what is really surprising is that almost 90% of those businesses owned by women generate no more than $100,000 a year. And yet 63% of those women report that their business is their household's main source of income. So it's important that we are supporting women-owned businesses. And we can only do that if we make a concentrated effort and change our thinking to not just going to the big box stores or to, hitting Amazon. You want to be thoughtful and thinking about where you're spending your money and who it's helping. And it's very interesting, but the younger generation seems more intent on supporting local and small businesses than people of our generation. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. It's sort of an interesting thing, but I see it over and over again with my kids. They're, considering buying things from people that they know that have side businesses or side gigs. And so, I think that we really need to be lifting women up and making sure that we're supporting them. And I know in my circle of friends, I can name, a good percentage of them that have some kind of business that they're generating income. So we wanted to give women the opportunity today to make sure that they're shouting out businesses that they love, and also that those that do have businesses know where to go for important resources. So, Anne, over to you.
Okay, so today we're talking about unique business models, and I just like to share my thoughts on this with you. I mean, even with the internet offering massive opportunities, some people are still struggling to find their way to creating something online. And sure, you don't have to create anything online, but like I always say to people that are looking, I say, well, what is your passion? And a lot of people, some of my clients, they just, they when you ask them that question, they can't answer it because it's something that we don't really think about. And sometimes, for me, what I found is sometimes a unique business model comes out of the pain that you experience on your own journey. And this is why I want to share the story with you. When I got divorced, I was living in another country at the time, and so I had to return to my own country and alone, no money, no job, just my friends who gave me a place to stay, and I had my degree in fitness and nutrition, and my other qualification was like after school studies. I was an accountant. I mean, can you believe it? I could never see myself as an accountant. But anyway, I found myself not wanting to go into either of these industries. So I had to start studying again. And it wasn't easy. I mean, working all day and then going to college for 4 hours every night after work. It was really tough. But jumping a couple of years ahead when the internet kicked in, I never knew anything about technology. And honestly, they don't teach you that in marketing. Well, not when I studied anyway. So I had to start learning all over again. So to cut a long story short, there was pain in this experience. I'm having to learn everything that I know today. And I know there are many women out there that experience the same pain. And I mean, I was constantly looking for a solution. And so, ultimately I wanted to help women overcome this type of experience. Like, skip the first 5 steps of opening your own business. Don't go through the pain. Let me just give you the information to make it easier for you. So I always thought, I wish there was a platform that could offer everything that you need to know about like life, health, wealth, relationship, everything in one place. And I just thought that would be amazing. And so I looked for that, and I looked everywhere, and I just couldn't find anything like that. They could give me the resources that I was looking for, and the upskilling that I needed. And yes, there were membership sites out there, but it wasn't like the one that I had in my mind as to what I could learn. So I'm telling you this for a reason, because I decided that I was going to create this myself. And today, Women Connector is the only women membership program online that offers a wealth of knowledge in 33 different industries, supported by 18 international professional businesswomen from all around the world, providing content to empower women in this membership. So my message to you today is this: the answers to all of our questions, your questions, are really inside you. Okay, all you need to do is dig deep and you'll find them. Whenever I have a new client, I always say, talk to me. Tell me everything about you. What do you like? What don't you like? What are your dreams? And I will tell you what your passion is. Okay, and I do this by just watching them, watching their body language, watching their faces light up when they're talking about things, and then I know. So to end off, I'm telling you that your unique business model is already inside you, and all you need to do is find it. If you're looking for it, maybe you have it already, like I do, and Sherry does, And so I hope that we can help you bring it out and give you the resources where you need to go. And I thank you for listening. Back to you, Sherry.
Thank you, Anne, for sharing that. Women Connect is an amazing resource, and thank you for starting it. So today we want to give you a chance to shout out your favorites women-owned business. And you'll notice every Saturday we shout out one from our group of women. So what we'd like you to do is to either put the name of the business in the chat or to put their URL if you have that. And Anna's just going to be watching the ones get put in there. And I'm going to talk about our contest for International Women's Day. So as you know, we have this amazing original painting from Golfo Sakumis. And Golfo is a Vancouver artist born in Greece. And she says this: every woman has a story, but through our life we forget, sometimes intentionally, certain experiences, only to wake up one day feeling stuck and unhappy despite everything we've achieved. Women often give up our power as creators, and my message to women in particular is that we tend to store a lot of unprocessed emotions. It's never too late to open the door of our own soul, start exploring, sweeping out, letting go, and setting free our spirits of all burdens and fears. Creativity is the ultimate way for it. So Golfo loves supporting women, and you can find, she's actually, this is one of her paintings behind me on the SAT, and you can find more of her paintings at golfoart.com. Now, Anne, did you have a picture of her painting to put up?
Yes, I do. And I will show you right now. Let me just share my screen.
So this painting is up for grabs, and it's an art auction. It's a very unique auction in the fact that you're not bidding money, you're bidding people. And all you have to do is recommend people come and check out the show. When they register for the show, they put your name in as a referral, and that is counted as one bid. And the winner is going to be announced on March 12th, the Friday show. And so, interestingly enough, we have quite a few people interested in that, but who is leading? Anne?
Okay, well, this is going to be a tough one to get past because Holly is still in the lead. Now, I have got some people coming in, but no one's putting who referred them. So I'm not sure if they're just coming in from our advertising or otherwise if they're coming in and forgetting to put the referral's name. So remember to get your people to say that you've referred them. But so far, as the record stands, Holly's in the lead. Still.
There you go. Still. Congratulations, Holly, on all that you're doing. Keep up the good work. So now, Anne, did you see any interesting tidbits to share or that we could ask women to share?
Yeah, I think everyone can see in the chat the links. So just from the links, I can't really tell what the business is about, Sherry.
Okay.
But and CJ says, okay, no, that was something else.
Oh. Okay. Well, let's pick out two women to share the business.
Okay. Arlene says my former daughter-in-law started a business making. How do you say that word? Are you on? You're online here, obviously. Arlene, do you want to? Shall we choose Arlene to chat about that?
Sure. Arlene, tell us about the business. 1 minute or less.
Okay. Yeah, it's pronounced charcuterie. It's a French word. And if you're in France and you want to buy some cold cuts, etc., you're going to the deli and you're ordering charcuterie, which is a selection of cheeses and meats, etc. Anyway, so she's created these boards wooden boards, and she all kinds of different beautiful boards that she sources, and then she fills them with all kinds of cold cuts, cheeses, pickles, olives, grapes, all kinds of delicacies, and then some dessert items that she has a chef that makes special desserts, and then she sells them. So you buy them made up, and you would have them for a snack or an appetizer if you're having guests over, or if you're having a football game and you want a football theme, she'll make one up that will have chips and dips and all kinds of things like that. But she also makes what she calls charcuterie boards, a word she made up, which is basically chocolate items and all the goodies that go with chocolates.
So much for sharing that. Gosh, I'd love to have one of those chocolate ones.
Me too.
So thank you for sharing that. So for all of you who are on the call, you'll be able to see the list of women-owned businesses, and we'll share it out afterwards in the communications too. So thank you, Arlene. So we have got a number of people who are sharing their business today. And Anne, you're going to introduce the first one.
Yes, I'm just looking how to see. There we go. Hi, Teresa. Do you want to open up your mic? Teresa has the most unique business. I saw her products, and I just connected with them straight away. And so I'd like to introduce you to Teresa. Are you open? Let's have a look here.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you for joining us. Would you like to tell us about your unique business model?
Sure. I just want to say thank you to Sandra. Hi, Sandra, for having me and inviting me. That was really cool of you. So the funny thing about me is I was born and given up for adoption and never expected to walk. So that was that in part is part of my journey as to where I am today. So when I learned how to hold the first yellow crayon, I knew I wanted to be an artist. And then I was told, you're going to have to be really, really good in order to be an artist, because nobody will buy anything if it's not any good. And I'm like, duh. So, but anyway, art has always been there, and it's really saved my life in a lot of ways. So I became a writer, and that was my passion. And then I tried to get a story published so many times, and I kept getting rejected. But it was my story about me learning how to walk and all the obstacles that I had and all the people that said no to me along the way. And so I wrote and illustrated a children's picture book because I took it in my own hand. So I don't know if you can see this, but this is one of like probably 300 stones that I painted with the intention of doing school visits and telling my story and, you know, all the bullies that I had to face and all of that jazz to get to being a writer. And after painting so many of these little stones with all my characters on it, they kind of transformed into, wow, these are really cute, to like, holy cow, this is kind of cool, you know, because I got really comfortable with painting. And so somebody said to me, you got to start selling these. And I'm like, no way, who's going to buy a rock? Like, come on, who's going to buy a rock? And then, so then something else happened. I started hearing messages. So the messages are usually between 3, and this one's really wordy, but the messages started pouring in. And I'm like, holy cow, what is this? This is a crazy gift I got going on here. So I sat really quietly and I'm like, okay, what is this? So I heard whispering stones. And I'm like, well, clearly this is what's happening. So I started writing all sorts of really cool messages on the backs of my stones, and they've gone worldwide. Like, I just can't believe it. So it's really cool. So this one says, be bold, see the way you want to live, and then go after it. So I'm like, that makes sense to me. So I wrote it down. And and now I'm painting really larger because somebody told me to paint bigger. I took my art to an art gallery. So this is actually going into an art show coming up really soon. So the moral of this story is like one stone can lead to like a whole lot of other really cool things. And I never knew that this would happen, but I just went with it. So yeah, whispering stones are hashtag my whispering stones because somebody else has whispering stones out there. And I want people to come to my whispering stones.
Well, that's an
amazing.
That's an amazing story, Teresa. Congratulations. And just goes to show you that you never know where your talents are going to go.
Yeah. And you know, I wish I could go back to my art teacher and go, ha, I can't. Because he wouldn't take me. He said I wasn't good enough to be in his art class.
I understand that.
Are you kidding me? Like, So yeah, so it'd be really nice to go, guess what? My art's gone worldwide. What have you done?
So can you tell me where can people find your stones on your Facebook page?
Well, yes, you can go to my Facebook page. Because it's such a personal art, I don't pump them out generally. Like, I'm not a machine. So people that will come to me and maybe they'll have somebody that passed away or somebody that's dealing with like, let's say cancer. I get a lot of cancer. So they'll say, hey, my aunt is suffering with this. And then I say, okay, tell me your 3 favorite colors. What are her favorite colors? And then I incorporate that into the art. Tell me a little bit about what's going on. What does she like? What are her values? And then the messages come. So it's a really personal art that I do. So that's why I don't just sell it. Hey, buy these rocks. No, it doesn't work like that.
Okay, so then people can get in touch with you through your Whispering Stones.
Yeah, just it is all personal all the time. My Whispering Stones, or you can call me at mywhisperingstones@gmail.com.
Okay,
so that works too. Yeah, it is a very personal. Yeah, but I've also got a lady picking me up, and she's selling my painted glass stones, and my painted. I'm making keychains out of cut stones, and they're super pretty, and they're always one of a kind. So they're all getting that. Yeah. So go to Bestie, BESTTE, Bestie.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing and coming on today, Teresa. Anne, you're welcome. Anne, Carol, I think is up next.
Yes, Carol, are you there? Carol, are you ready? Carol has been she's South African, lives on the east coast of South Africa in a town called Durban, and she has been my friend for many years. And we have both lived in Durban, but now I'm in Johannesburg. And Carol is going to tell us about her unique concept and how her business came about. Carol, are you there?
I'm here, Anne. Hi, everybody. And thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to share my dream and my passion. And at the very onset, I want to just say to everyone how fortunate we all are to be here together, and how wonderful is it for all of us to be sharing. So I have got a very exciting and unique story to share with you, and I'm going to show you what I'll be talking about is some plastic needles that you use for weaving. So this is the most unique and amazing story. It was in 1980. I was a mum of 2 young children, and by chance I saw some unique weaving, and I thought, how was this done? I don't crochet or knit. I'm not craft minded, and I've been a working mum all my life, and I've also been a single mum all my life. So I know what hard work is about and what perseverance is all about. But at that time, my children were very young, so I saw this weaving, and I tried to work out how it was done. There was no way I could find, well, in those days, no internet, no TV, 1980s, a long time ago. There was no way to find out anything about this. So I started just thinking about it and think, okay, just be creative, just let your mind do the work. And I figured out that you needed some sticks, and then you needed to make a warp, and then you needed to go across the sticks and do some weaving. And so there began my long journey of research and development, and I created a wonderful little handheld weaving thing called AfriWeave, which I called AfriWeave. And I was lucky enough to actually get a South African patent. But I mean, all this was like, wow. I mean, I was just a stay-at-home mom, but I wanted to use my creativity and I didn't know how. So it all started all quite by chance and trial and error, but I did persevere. And finally, I did put a little kit together after knocking on a lot of doors, climbing a lot of mountains, getting a lot of rejections. I mean, just a little housewife at home. I eventually got somebody who wanted to run with the idea, and a yarn manufacturer thought, this is a fabulous idea. This little thing gobbles up a lot of yarn. And the Frame Group in those days, they actually launched it for me. And within 3 months, we sold 400,000 sets on the South African market through the local supermarket stores. And it was like, wow, where did this come from? You know, I had persevered. It was just an idea. It was my passion. Anyway, so that was as life goes on, I put it in the closet, and then 40 years later, and 2 days into COVID, I then had the lucky and most wonderful experience of Anne contacting me, saying, "Hi, Carol, haven't seen you for such a long time. Please join my meetings. I want to teach people how to do funnel. I want to teach people how to do website funnels." So, I mean, that's way past my sort of capability. So I thought, why not? You know, COVID's here, we're in lockdown. 3 days into this very complicated, and well, for me, because knowing nothing, I don't know how to switch on a computer, but Anne was so fantastic with this whole program. And then I thought, oh my God, this is what I need. The light bulb went on. And I thought, this is how I'm going to bring out my little AfriWeave out of the closet, and I can now carry on with my dream of teaching everybody how to weave in such a simple and inexpensive way. And so this light bulb moment happened. I said to Anne, please, this AfriWeave has been hidden in the cupboard for so long. Please, what do you think? And she said, I think it's fabulous. And so thank you, Anne. I am now at a point where we have just started our website and our social platforms, and we are going to start selling it again. What is so exciting for me is that, I mean, I'm 73, so I'm way down the line, and but I want to share the joy of weaving and how simple it is. And I'm going to quickly go through the benefits of what these little needles can do, because this is simply a needle. Let me give you a one that you can see a color. So this is what I ended up patenting, and then so you put yarn on this end. And then you add it, you do to 5 needles, 6 needles. You hold them all in your hand like this. And then you add yarn to the bottom of it. and then you start a new ball of yarn and you weave and weave. And so that sounds like, oh, like pretty simple. Well, it is. It can be as simple or as difficult as you want. But besides it being creative, and behind me, this is what I call the masterpiece. My mum actually, she made it with these 6 little needles. That's all, no big loom. So it's made in strips. And if you follow a simple graph paper by making long strips and then eventually putting all the strips together, it comes together like a puzzle. So behind me is what I call the masterpiece. And this is what you can create from these 6 little needles, which, I mean, the very quickly, the benefits that I have, well, for me personally, is education for the children. It develops motor skills. So a child will hold it in their hand and they can work. And so all their muscles are working and they can learn to count. It's very therapeutic. You don't have to concentrate. You can sit in front of a TV. And it's almost monotonous, but as it's the work created is so quick. And suddenly you see something and you get very excited by it. So it's very stimulating. It's also very, hey?
That's just an amazing story.
The other thing is that, granny and kids can work together. You can teach a child of as young as 5 to weave with these simple little needles and the simple method and create wonderful, wonderful things.
Well, thank you. Oh, sorry.
Very quickly, it's also very good for schools. Schools to learn a craft because it's inexpensive. You don't have to have a big loom. It's also wonderful for special needs people. And I have taught many, many classes, and the joy, the tears, to see what people who've got physical and mental handicaps are able to do, and the joy is boundless. It also can make an income, and I've taught a lot of GPOs to get their people together and to make items from using yarn or t-shirt yarn or anything, and produce an item and sell it and get an income. And of course it's portable, you pop it in your pocket. So I am so excited that I'm able, for the very first time in 40 years, to bring it out the closet, and here it is, and to ask you all to help me on this wonderful journey that I've just started, to help me spread the word of weaving. It's so easy, it's fun, it's so inexpensive, and everyone can do it. It's within everybody's reach. So I'm asking everyone here, help me teach the world to weave.
Thank you, Carol. I think that touched a lot of, I seen comments going through the chat. So I think that whole process touched people. And I think what I found so inspirational was the fact that you put the project away, and it came back to be what you're supposed to do. So it doesn't matter how old you are or how long you've had something put away, you can always bring it forward. So thank you so much for sharing that today, Carol. I think that, Anne, did you have the business contact for Carol? That'll go up in the chat or afterward.
Okay. I'll put it in the chat now.
Okay.
But I think that I think we're moving on to our little word finding puzzle.
Yes. Amazing. So we had a contest last week that we announced about our Instagram and Facebook channel, where you had to go and look for a number of words in this puzzle. And oh my goodness, we had no idea that people were going to take this so seriously. But The winner of that puzzle found 121 words. Sandra Ewan, you are the winner by far. The closest one I heard was 40. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So what you're going to win is a book from CJ Golden. It's called The Tao of the Defiant Woman. Now, CJ is a writer, motivational speaker, and a video podcast host from Newton, Connecticut. And her newest project is The Caregiver's Bakery, which serves up recipes and tips to soothe the healthy caregiver. And along with Wendy Green of Hey Boomer, each show features a caregiver who has an uplifting story to share, but also a tasty recipe that can be made in spurts to suit the caregiver's role, which, you're getting pulled from different directions at all times. So you can find it on Facebook, The Caregiver's Bakery. So that will be coming out to you, Sandra. And congratulations for finding all those words. Amazing.
Thank you so much. I'll enjoy the book. Thank you.
So next we have Gina Best, who is an amazing force here in Vancouver, BC. She is the owner of a multi-million-dollar business, as well as a business coach. And she and At 45 are doing a mastermind for the next year. There are 12 women who are going to be included in that mastermind. And I just wanted, is Gina on? Sorry, I didn't see her come in.
Yes,
so
it's Gina. I'm here.
Okay. Great. Hi, Gina.
Good morning.
Gina's going to share about her business. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. When you ask me to do this, I never know where to start. So I'll start in the beginning. My first company, I have a couple. My first company is the mortgage. I own a mortgage brokerage here in Vancouver, British Columbia. And we fund on average 150 million plus. And I started it with a wing and a prayer and a phone and a desk. And I had no idea what I was doing. It came about because I wanted to be a mom more than anything in the whole wide world. And that didn't really happen for me. I had my ex and I tried, and I got pregnant with twins very early, back in 1997. But they didn't make it. So I lost one at 9 weeks and one at 18. And then I lost my mind a little bit and put my head down and went back to work. Right. I did a month of not speaking to anybody, and then I just went back to work. So when the opportunity came to start a mortgage broker company, which I knew nothing about, my answer was yes, because it was a baby I could grow. And I grew it. Like, I kicked ass. And I did that for basically 15 years. And I am phenomenal building business. I've learned what not to do in a very, very, very hard way when you go splat and everything falls apart. But I've learned the lessons. And then about 6 years ago, I decided to do something different. I started my second company, which was coaching and consulting. It originally started with people in the mortgage industry who wanted some support. So that's how it started. And then it turned into this whole creature of its own. And Anne says about your passions, I was meant to coach. That is my calling. That is where I am happiest. I will always keep the mortgage business because I'm a businesswoman. Like, hello. But my everything is coaching and consulting, and especially women, because the reality is we do things differently. Business for us is totally different than business for men. You know, that stat you said about $100,000 a year and that's the main household income, like that just makes me stop on my tracks, right? That is crazy. So we have these businesses that we work anywhere from 40 to 60 to 80 hours, depending on, and it also depends on, lifestyle, need, opportunity, but we're working our asses off for nothing. Like, really, $100,000 for 60 hours a week, like, do the math. You know, it's crazy. And that's the kind of things that I like to do. And with my clients, so I do one-on-one clients. I also do mastermind and group coaching clients. I love the mastermind stuff because the magic is in the group, because so many women are solopreneurs, right? Like if you stop and think about how many of you have people in your business, not very many. So many women are solopreneurs, and we operate in this vacuum, and there's no support, there's no motivation, there's no measuring stick. I got really lucky when I started in the mortgage world, and there was a gentleman, we were on a rewards trip and we were in a pool, and I said to him, you know, the one thing I don't understand about this industry is no one shares real numbers with you. Like, how do I know I'm doing well when the person over there says, oh yeah, I'm making, you know, this much money, and I know they're lying. So he actually shared with me numbers. So that was my first lesson. You know, you have to look at the nuts and bolts. As much as you might love what you are doing, if you're not making enough to feed yourself, you got to give it up. And then what you got to do is do something that makes the money, and then have the side part that fills your soul, right? I love to think that everybody in business, whatever they're doing is their passion. It's not true. You know, let's be honest, our mortgage is my passion? Oh, hell no. The people are my passion. That's why I love it. So it's finding the pieces. But operating in this vacuum, you can't do it. So I got super lucky along the way, and people said, hire a coach, hire a coach, hire a coach. I was broke, but I knew I had to do it. It's really interesting how that's the one thing people have hesitation spending money on. And it's a leap, because, you know, a business coach or consultant can be anywhere from, you know, on the cheap side, and you get what you pay for, like, let's be honest, you know, $300 a month, or it could be $3,000 a month, right? Like there's a big range, but it's the only area of your life that you wouldn't look for support to build. And that boggles my mind. And with women, we're so much more complex. You can go buy the E-Myth and figure out all the parts of your business. Sure. But it doesn't bring in things about, you know, how boundaries screw with you inside your business, how grief that you carry messes with your business, how we so undervalue our time and our efforts. So all of these things are the things that I love to do with women. On top of the, you know, who's your client? Like, I love the weaving lady, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, about, you know, what she's, you know, she wants to specifically what she's looking for. You know, when you ask for a client, how many of you know what to specifically ask for? The other question is, how many of you ask? One of the biggest lessons women miss is just ask. So it's all of these pieces. So my mastermind groups that I love, they fill my heart and soul. We do everything. We do a bit of business. We do a bit of personal stuff. We bring our challenges and our wins to the group, and we become this amazing group. And Sherry did one a few years ago. She was my very first online experiment with this. Who knew that that's the way it was all going to go? And the magic is in women supporting women. And that's what I love. So, you know, in COVID, it was interesting. The Sunday night before our lockdown came on Monday, the Sunday night, my first coaching client bailed on me. And then the Monday, I remember I went to the gym in the morning, came home, and I was completely freaking out, because I thought, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Right? Because at the time, I had just... Last year, 2019 was my year of digging myself out of the hole. I got diagnosed with breast cancer in 2016, 17, somewhere around there. I did 5 surgeries, and being self-employed and separated from my husband, I dug into everything I had to keep going. I maxed out every bit of credit I had. I used all my savings. I did a second mortgage on my house because I was still in this craziness of providing for our lifestyle, even though I was dealing with breast cancer. So 2019, I dug myself out of the hole. And then 2018, I dug myself out of the hole. So, no, 2019, that's right. So 2020, that Monday, I thought, holy shit, how am I going to pay the mortgage? Right? So not only did I pay the mortgage, I bought the house off of. I dug myself out of the hole, and I have money in my savings account. So COVID has done very well for me. I also had a huge lesson to stop buying shoes. But I saw the most beautiful pair this morning. But it was all of these things. And when I was going through all the craziness in the spring and the summer, it was my crew that helped me. Right. Some of them were my mastermind group. Some of them were my friends, but that's what kept me going through all the sleepless nights of how am I going to figure out doing my house. So my message with all of this is you can't do it alone. And like things like this are perfect starts, but you need to take it a step further. If you want to get your business where you want to go, and you need to know where you want to go, like that's the biggest one. Like very few women, the first thing I'll say to them, you know, what is your big goal? Oh, I don't know. What do you want? Oh, financial security. Well, what does that mean? Right? For me, financial security means 50 grand in my savings account. That's what financial security means for me, 50 grand. Right? So we work through all of these. I have a booklet called Best Year that it's up on Anne's amazing membership site, and everybody should do it. Even if the business stuff doesn't apply for you, there's lots of personal stuff there because women are complicated. Right? We're not guys. I've had guy business coaches, and one of them was the biggest douchebag I ever met in my whole life. Right? And it's women connecting with women to build business the way it works for us. And that's what I'm all about.
That's fabulous, Gina. Thank you so much. Very inspirational. And I always think that women are very apt to try and learn everything. We want to know how to do everything before we can actually move forward. And that often is a barrier in business.
I have a motto and it's called, it's good enough. Right? We're not going for perfect here. It's good enough. Just do it. We will figure it out as we go. It's good enough.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
So, your mastermind.
Yes.
People can find it at gina.best.
Yeah, gina.best. There's a tab on the top that's Mastermind. Right now we're taking names. I would prefer if we didn't run it until I want to do between 8 and 12 because the magic is in the group. And the magic is in not just all the stuff we learn and do together, but it's the support for each other. So there's a tab on my website about it, or you can reach out to me. I am taking names right now, and when we hit 8, we'll start.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's going to be first or second week of March.
And Gina,
okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So Arlene wants to know quickly. She asked, what is a mastermind?
So a mastermind, what we do is once a month we get together. Depending on, I like to do 3 hours, which I know is a long Zoom, but you're allowed to eat. I encourage you to eat while we do it because adult learning always works better when you're feeding yourself, believe it or not. So we do 3 hours, and how it works is we get together, we chat, of course, we bring our wins from the last month. This is after the first one. The first one's a bit different, but how it usually works is you come, we talk about what's going on the last month. Did you achieve what you wanted to do? What were your challenges? What were your wins? Then we'll do we will do something together, a worksheet together about whatever our topic is. Then we'll set our intentions for the next month. We'll set our accountability, and that's our 3 hours. And then in between, what I like to do is have a Facebook group just for those members. It's a private Facebook group, and it's just so we can support each other. Like I want to hear every once a week, you need to update us how you're doing. Plus any of the challenges or concerns or wins go into that Facebook group. And that's the magic. The magic is the adult learning, sharing experience, as well as the guided workshops.
Super. Thank you, Gina. So next, we have a question that we'd like you to answer, and we have a beautiful prize, one of the AfriWeave kits from Carol Lazarus. So here's the question. How does your favorite form of recreation enhance your ability to function in life? Tell us the activity and the benefit. So I want you to be putting that in the answers to that in the chat. And we're going to start our next sharing. And that is the Bright Brew Gorilla group or duo, who are a duo who in 1990 sold everything they had in California, bought a one-way ticket to Europe, and have been couch surfing before it was cool, doing music and making movies. And we're just so excited to have them on the show today. And first time we've had a man included, but welcome very much.
Thank you.
So Robin Rosenkrantz and Michael Glover, it's your show.
Thanks, Sherry.
So
Hey,
how do we get here?
Yeah, before we start, I just wanted to say a couple things.
First of all, Gina, I got to write her in a movie because she's just a character.
Yeah, Gina, you'd be great in the film.
You remind me of my upbringing. I was raised by my mother, who was a politician and friends of the governor and just a shaker and a roll. And our house was filled with people like Gina. Seriously, all my life. So it was like family.
Great. This is a really inspiring group. What a beautiful gathering. And before Michael and I met, I was actually working at this job called the Women's Yellow Pages. This is before the internet. And it was a thick book of yellow pages of all women-owned businesses. So we were always looking to support women's businesses.
They still exist.
I don't think they still exist, but I'll have to see if I can get in touch. So I thought that was interesting, regarding today's subject. But Michael and I, we both, all our lives, knew what we wanted to do. I always knew I wanted to be a musician. When I was 12 years old, in my school autobiography, I wrote I wanted to be a rock star. I started writing songs, playing guitar at a really young age. And you always knew what you wanted to do.
Yeah, same thing. I saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show when I was, I think, 3 or 4 or something. And I was like, wait a minute, what are those? First of all, are those boys or girls? And I'm like, they're boys. And I was like, and this is their job? They're like, yeah, and I thought, that's my job. That's it. That's what I want to do. I didn't know that was an option. But basically, Robin and I, we have a lot. It's funny. We have a lot in common with all the people. Teresa, with all the rejections and I mean, give me a break. If I had $1 for everybody that told me that I had no talent, I'd be totally a millionaire. And now we've made 7 feature films. I've written and directed 7 feature films. Robin's become a great producer that's in demand with other people asking them for film. How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this?
We've written a bunch of songs and made a lot of
toured for
CDs.
30 years. I've been doing this for 30 years. So it's, a couple of things that what Gina said about asking for help is so important. You've got to ask for help. That's one thing we learned from a filmmaker friend of ours interviewed the head of Coca-Cola, and his advice, if you had one thing to say to someone for success, what would it be? He said, learn how to ask for help. This was the head of Coca-Cola company. And, so we've really taken that to heart, and also,
right.
Being flexible, being
having trust and faith. I mean, the thing is, when Michael and I met, we were both in Los Angeles working and doing music on the side, because it's pretty hard to survive as an artist in LA. But I always knew, I wanted to travel the world and play music. So when we met, we ended up getting together, and I said, you know what, we're quitting our jobs. As Sherry was saying, we're selling everything we have. We're buying one-way tickets to Europe, and we're just going to travel and play music. I'm not going to wait around in LA to be discovered by a record company to get permission to live the life I want to live. I'm going to create it. And from day one, the first day we landed in Europe, I mean, of course it was scary, and what's going to happen, and where are we going to sleep, and how are we going to do this? From day one, the universe supported us and brought people into our lives that helped us and invited us to stay in their home, and said, oh, I know a guy that owns a recording studio, and hey, I know a club you can play. We just started asking and meeting people, and the world opened up.
Accept. This is another thing. You have to accept when someone offers. A lot of times somebody, even small little social things like, oh, would you like a cup of tea? Oh, no, thanks. Maybe, you just do that because it's, at least in our culture, it's really polite to say no, thank you. We like to not accept, but it's like, why don't you accept? Somebody says, can I? Sure, thank you. And so you do that, ask for help and accept, and then give, of course, whenever you can. And we've been so fortunate. The thing is with us, I don't think Gina particularly would agree with our financial outlook because we've been, if you look how much money, how much money we've traveled the world with and lived an incredible life
For 30 years.
Because the thing is, we figured out you either have money or you have agreement. If I ask someone, can you take me to the airport? They say, sure. Then I don't need $50 to go to the airport with. So these are the things and I thought, well, wait, why don't we make a movie like that? So we were just saying to actors, saying, look, guys, our budget is in the thousands of dollars for this movie, not the millions. So are you busy, actor person? Do you have anything going on in the next 3 weeks? No, I don't. Well, do you want to be in the movie and have a credit? And we'll give you a percentage of whatever comes in, if it ever comes in.
And we'll feed you really well.
And so we found, everybody said yes. So we did 7 feature films this way, and we form an artist collective. People fortunately know us as artists, and they know we're not we don't have rich parents, so they don't expect us to treat them like, a Paramount Pictures production.
Right. And on our movie sets, it's a very special atmosphere. Everyone is there because they want to be there. They're not there for the paycheck, because there is no paycheck, but it's really becomes a labor of love, and everybody creating something bigger than themselves. Our goal is to make uplifting music and movies that make people feel better when they leave the cinema.
And are hopefully funny. But before we leave, we should plug 36 Husbands. That's our new, it's a mystical, musical, romantic, kung fu spy comedy.
Starring 3 powerful women.
And a bunch of husbands. And it's basically, if women ruled the world, which is, I think, would be a preference, this is how it would kind of look. And it's a campy 60s kind of vibe to it. And we hope you'll check it out. It's on iTunes, Amazon, everywhere in the world right now.
Right. And one of the key things I learned along the way is not only to ask for help, but to tell everybody you meet what you're looking for. A couple of you said it's important to know what you're looking for. So that's really important, through journaling, through meditation, through spending time with yourself, being honest with yourself. What are you dreaming of?
What are you looking for?
It's always possible to do some version of what you're dreaming of. Maybe it's not the exact version, but some version of it. So, to keep on keeping on, never to give up. But as I said, to tell everybody what you're looking for. It's amazing the way we found locations, the way we found places to stay. I mean, I was even, I'd go to the store when we were in Berlin, and I'd ask the checkout person, hey, I'm looking for this. Do you know where I can find this?
Apartment or something, for example.
And I found things amazingly that way. You never know where they're going to come from. And a lot of times you ask somebody, hey, I'm looking for this. And they're like, no, I don't know. Wait a minute. I actually know somebody that has that castle where you can film.
Knows somebody that's it always comes. Virtually anything. For this latest movie, we had a lot of things we needed. One of them was a 1961 Land Rover. Specifically, I wanted an old one like that. And we were in Australia asking people, we're not renting. It's not like, here's $20,000 to rent your thing. So we just asked, could somebody that lend it? And we ended up finding, through a really strange, circuitous route, this perfect machine, the one that I dreamed of and that we used in a scene. And there's many examples like that. Basically, from what I've heard from all the people today, it's beautiful that you're supporting each other. And that's part of the thing. You have a right to do what you dream of. It's not a bad thing. You're a human being, and you're entitled to have, wealth, success, health, good things. And it's great that you're supporting each other. And I was inspired to hear everyone's story. So thank you for including us. And
thanks for having us. And we hope you'll visit our website. It's brightbluegorilla.com. And you can see our movie trailers, hear our music, and email us. We love to hear from everyone.
We'll put it in the chat.
We'd love to keep in touch. Yeah, so thanks for having us.
Well, thank you so much. And I had the opportunity to actually interview them. And there's an hour-long video full of amazing information and sharing from Robin and Michael. And that's it was released this morning, and it's on at45.com. So you can also see a review of their movie, which was fabulous. My goodness, we're almost out of time, and we have one more just amazing story to share. And I'm sorry, Leslie, that we're running a little bit over time, but I would love to have you share. Now, Leslie has a business that came to be when she came back from a vacation, and she is selling amazing clothing and fashion. Leslie, are you there?
I am here, and
welcome.
I'm here. I just want to say, love the gorilla people, and it's like very cool story. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I'll be really brief. So many years ago, living in New York City in a job, working in an office building. This is in my 30s, and decided to go traveling. And I went traveling to Indonesia. Went traveling for about 9 months, came back to New York, needed to get a job, decided I do not want to get a job. I can't think of anything worse than getting a job. And I had a light bulb moment, and I remembered this beautiful clothing, colorful clothing I saw in Bali, Indonesia when I was traveling. And I just jumped back on an airplane. I just went with an empty duffel bag, and I hit the streets of Bali. I went store to store, and I just bought a bunch of stuff, adorable stuff, and I brought it back to New York, and I set up tables at street fairs and started selling the clothing. And the first time that happened, my booth was stormed by women because they'd never seen such beautiful, colorful, wonderful patterns. And literally a week later, I was on the plane going back to Bali. Now, my business is called Back from Bali, and I create and I design beautiful women's, more bohemian style clothing. I am very happy to tell you that my business is now a multiple 7-figure business. And I personally am very much into money and in really encouraging women to make money in their business. Because money is something that gives you empowerment, and it gives you independence, and it gives you the ability to stand on your own feet and not to be dependent on anybody else. If you choose to take care of people, that's your choice. If you choose to live wherever you want to live, that's your choice. But to be given the choice to have that ability to really take care of yourself is something that I encourage all women to do. And the way to do it is really through 2 things. And the first one is to really go for it and just follow it. 30 years ago, when I jumped on that plane to Indonesia, I had no idea that these many years later, I would be running a multiple 7-figure business. I just wanted to go buy stuff and not get a job, so I didn't have to go into an office building and press a button and go up into, the 35th floor. That was my motivation. But I followed a hunch. I followed an interest. I followed that I didn't want to get a job. That was really my passion. And then step by step, it led into one thing after another, after another. And it really was, to tell you the truth, I had my business a long time, and I did okay financially, but never really phenomenal. And it was about 7-8 years ago, I made a very conscious decision that I wanted to be really successful. And I wanted to be really successful because I wanted that feeling of empowerment that success can give you. That you could really control your life, that you could really give to others if you choose to. And very consciously, I really made a decision, that's it. I'm fed up with myself, and I'm fed up where I was. I was okay. It was maybe okay for many people, but for me, I had a burning desire inside of me to be doing better. And so what I want to say about that is making a conscious decision that you are ready to step into whatever you want to step into in your life is really the first thing you need to do in order to achieve any kind of success. So that is what I did. And I completely agree with Gina. The first step I did was hiring a coach, and hiring a coach, though, that specialized in importing and into product-based businesses and into selling on the internet. And it was really because of the money that I have put into the coaching I've gotten that I've been able to bring the business to millions, because we don't know what we don't know. And we need guides and we need teachers to show us it. Sherry, I just want to make a little correction, because at the beginning, I loved all your statistics that you were giving. And I just want to make a little correction about Amazon, because I know you were saying really support women-owned businesses and not things like Amazon. Because I know a lot of people think, but when you buy from Amazon, you're just giving Jeff Bezos your money. But I want to point out that actually Amazon is made up of literally 350,000 small businesses. And I'm one of them. That's where I started. So actually, when you're buying from Amazon, you're actually most likely buying from a small business. And I just wanted to correct that.
And you're absolutely right, Leslie. Thank you very much for bringing that to the forefront, because there are so many of the businesses are small businesses on there. I agree totally. It's important to be looking at where the products are coming from, and there are many women-based businesses selling on Amazon. So thank you for correcting that, because it's absolutely true.
You're very welcome. So my business is called Back from Bali, and I hope you can check me out on Amazon or on my own website too. And I just encourage all of you to we all say follow the dream, but just follow your yearning. That's what I'm going to say. Follow your yearning. It always will take you in the right place.
And that's such good advice. And what I loved about your story is about the fact that you're stepping into empowerment. When you decide to have a business, you're stepping into your own empowerment. And
it's very important. And I also even though I may have said it already, it's really important that women do not have to make any excuses that they want to make money, that you're still a beautiful, soft, feminine, kind human being, even if money is what you want. And it's okay for you to say it, because it's a way of loving yourself.
Absolutely. Well, we've covered a gamut from small business to big business it's just amazing what people are accomplishing out there in their own life, in creating a business that is empowering to them, that follows their passion if they want, but also creates money and financial stability. So thank you everyone for sharing today. Now, Anne, I missed.
Yes, I know. We've gone over, but it's been so fantastic that I think
fabulous.
I'm not going to worry about time, but we do still have 2 gifts to give out, and I think we should give them out. So we can call a number. Do you want to do something like that?
Let's call a number then for the AfriWeave kit from Carol Lazarus. So how many people are in today?
All right, so we had 19, but some people had to leave, so we've got 60 now. But so here is the AfriWeave starter kit. That is from AfriWeave from Carol, and one lucky person is going to get that.
Okay, how about number 8?
Number 8. Okay, that's Gina.
Ah. There you go, Gina. Best, congratulations.
Gina, you won the starter kit. You're going to be weaving away.
We're looking forward to seeing your masterpiece. So now we have one more question that we wanted to ask for our next prize, which is the free ticket to view the movie 36 Husbands from the Bright Blue Gorilla. And so this is the question. If you had the opportunity to couch surf around the world, would you? And where would you start? So while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about next week's show. So next week, we're touching on the pleasure center of our life wheel. And we'll be exploring activities that support mental, physical, emotional, and cognitive health. So again, we've invited some subject experts to come and give us some suggestions on how we can be keeping our whole being functioning well. So, Anne, are we picking a number again for the 36 Husbands free ticket?
Yes, I think let's do that.
Okay, how about 14?
That's Michelle. Yes, Michelle's here.
Yay! There you go, Michelle. You will love the movie of 36 Husbands from the Bright Blue Gorilla. And
thank you very much.
You're welcome, Michelle. And I've watched that movie, and oh my gosh, I watched it at 4:00 in the morning, and I think my neighbors thought that something funny was going on next door. It was so funny. I was laughing the whole way through. So you'll definitely enjoy that.
It was a fabulous movie. I had so much fun watching that too. So next is we're giving a sarong from Back to Belly. Thank you, Leslie. Now, what we're going to do there is we have a survey, and we want you to answer the survey, and somebody will be picked randomly from the answers after the show, and we will be announcing the winner next week. So a beautiful sarong from Back to Bali can be yours if you answer the survey. Now, Anne, you're putting the survey up in the chat?
Yes, it's up there already.
Great. So everyone, you've got to click into it now, because once the show is closed, you will not be able to get that link. So click into it, and we're going to say goodbye for this show. We hope you'll join us next Friday for another fabulous show. And remember to be fabulous. Thank God it's Friday is also thank God I'm fabulous. Take care.
So what I wanted to tell you was I wore this outfit just for you guys because I'm taking this course at Emily Carr, and it's a mixed media course, and I have to paint 10 paintings in 1 week, all with different surfaces. So because of that, I have all of my painting clothes on, but I didn't want to disappoint Sandra. She'd kill me because I'm known for being a fashionista all around Vancouver. So I put on my boa. I put on my earrings to match my boa. And at least the top part of me is more Karen, all dressed up. So I just wanted to explain that to the group. So here I am.
Well, you look absolutely fabulous.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.